Welcome to SEO Espresso The Podcast with me, your host Natalie of Natalie Faith Web Designs. This podcast is your short and fast hit to learning SEO, dedicated to breaking down the complexity of SEO so you can create a memorable online brand that attracts clicks, leads, and sales to your website. Learn SEO in easy to consume shots of knowledge that will allow your business to grow, all while sipping your morning coffee. If this is what you've been looking for to get your business noticed in more places than just social media, you're in the right place. You're going to love what comes next. Let's go. Hello and welcome back to another episode of SEO Espresso. Over the next 3 episodes, I'll be covering the 3 pillars of SEO, which are on-page, off-page, and technical SEO. They might sound a little bit daunting, but it's just a way of categorizing each element so it's digestible and easier to action. I know some of my clients feel more confident with on-page SEO and off-page SEO, and they tend to leave the more technical stuff to me, which is totally fine. And I'll give you tips and strategies along the way, so hopefully it's a little bit easier. So let's jump into today's topic. I will be covering on-page SEO. So on-page SEO is everything on your website, from your website layout, the media and visuals, the alt text and metadata, the text or copy on each page, how long your audience are on your website for, and how often you keep your website up to date. To improve this SEO, understand how your audience are using your website and knowing how to strategically keep them on there for a longer period of time. So there are many interesting and different ways to increase your on-page SEO, and today I'm going to share with you 11 different ways you can do this. So the first one is page names. This is your homepage, your about page, your services, and your contact page. And if we just use about, services, and contact, it can be a little bit dry and boring, although still highly searchable pages. Instead, try something along the lines of this. Instead of services for myself, I could use website design services or SEO strategy services because it adds that keyword of SEO strategy or website design in front of services and then makes it a little bit easier for people to find me in search engines. It's more specific and it allows people to find exactly what they're looking for. And then when it comes to the about page, you could do something like about the website designer, or if it's my name, my personal brand that's known the most, it could be about Natalie Faith Ralphs. And so you can get a little bit more creative about how you name your pages of your website, but let that keyword do the SEO magic for each web page. Number 2 is page headings. So this is your H1, H2, and H3 tags. You might not realize this, but every single page heading, these are showing Google the hierarchical structure of your web page. So it's really important to have about, services, contact me, however you decide to label them, as your H1 heading. At the very top of the page, the first thing people see, it shows them that they're on the right page, and then they keep scrolling because they've come to the page that they've been looking for. And then as we go down, we use H2s and H3s as different levels and different layers to that H1 tag. So then if you have, for example, about the website designer, and then the H2 could be meet Natalie Ralphs because I'm the website designer. So I go that layer underneath the H1, and then perhaps under there it could be see Natalie's designs as the H3, because this is all related to each layer. You can go down to a H6, so it will be a H1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 and 6s tend to be more headings of dot points and things like that. And the reason that it is set up like this is for accessibility reasons. So it'll read out H1 first, then H2s, then H3s, and if you're not using them correctly, someone with vision impairments might be very confused when they come to your website. I have a blog post called 4 Incredibly Easy Strategies that will increase your SEO on your website that discusses page headings so you know how to optimize them properly. I'll leave a little link in the show notes. It also discusses a few other topics I'll be covering in a moment as well. Okay, number 3 is page descriptions. So the first 20 to 25 words at the top of your website is displayed in search engines as your meta description. unless you've customized this specifically for your audience. It's by creating meta descriptions of each web pages that will entice people off of search results and onto your pages, so then they can learn, book and buy your core offering. These top 20 to 25 words, it's really important for you to be using more sales copy, enticing people to learn more and to scroll further down the web page. So it not only is on the web page, but it can also be seen in search engines. Number 4 is page copy and word count. Because when it comes to text on your website, nothing is more important than being easy to read by your audience. If you aim for the 600 words per page, so that's for your home page, your about page, your contact page, and then about 800 words per blog post, then you can always go back and add more when you have the time, when you have the expertise, because you might want to hire someone, or over time adding more to those pages because you now know what to say and to share with your audience. Number 5 is page URLs. These need to contain the page keyword and be relevant to the content on the web page or blog post. Just have a little look at your URLs and make sure that between each word there's a little dash that connects all the words together. And then if any words have combined and there's not a dash in between them, just go in there and adjust it and then make sure you add a redirect to that new URL that you've created. I know it sounds a little bit complicated, me saying add a redirect and that kind of stuff, but by doing these different steps, it really will be beneficial for your website and for your SEO. Number 6 is internal and external links. Link from keywords to relevant web pages, so Google associates that word with that page that's linked to, because this is really important for not only internal linking, so then people stay on your website for a longer period of time, but also getting Google to know what your business specialities are and showing them exactly where to take people. If they are searching for this keyword, take them to this page. And then also by adding external links to your different pages and to your different blog posts, it then associates you with those other sites. So an external link is, for example, if you're on your About Me page and you've done your internal links to your different services and your contact pages and all that good stuff. And then at the bottom you say, come join me on social media. And then you link Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever your social media platform is with a hyperlink that then takes them directly to your profile. That is an external link. And then you're being associated with that link now. So it knows this website is related to that social media page. For blog posts, if you're writing more of like a research paper, if you imagine it like being at university and you've got to add your references and you have your different sites that you've gone to as part of your research paper, an external link would be like referencing those different websites that you got your information from to research this particular blog post. And that's why this blog post should be trusted. This is why this blog post is really informative and is helpful for your audience. Okay, number 7 is your website layout and usability. This is important for your client and customer experience because the longer they stay on your website, the more Google will see your website as providing value to people searching for the same keywords that the searcher used and therefore show others using that keyword your website. The layout should be easy to use, easy to click through to different pages. It shouldn't be clunky or too many pop-ups. It should feel very smooth and flowing and take people to different pages without them really looking or trying to find it. A really important thing to look at as well is how to make your website accessible to those who do use screen readers or are vision impaired, so then they have an enjoyable experience on your website and therefore you're not excluding a certain part of your audience. I do have another blog post on this one as well that I'll leave in the show notes. It's just called How to Make Your Website Accessibility Friendly. And I also share some really helpful links in there and how you can check your website and see how you can improve it as well. Okay, number 8 is keyword research. Now, I've probably been banging on about this one for quite a while now. I think it's still such an important topic because if your website is not aligned with who you want to attract and where you're based and what you actually provide your audience, it's going to make it really tricky for them to find you in search results. And so we want to make sure our website is aligned with our audience and what they're searching for. So then we always appear in search results. And I do have a guide for this as well. I obviously have my keyword creator guide. Again, I'll link it in the show notes. But that one, it covers everything. The who, what, where, why, how, it does everything. It's entirely free, so just download if you're interested. Number 9, the media and visuals. When you post images online, please rename them to something relevant to the image itself or to the page it will be shown on, because then search engines can see the relevance of that image being on this page, what this image is about. You can choose one or the other, but never name an image the exact same thing. It always has to be unique. It always has to be different. Just make sure it uses a different variation of a keyword and within the name. And then please format your images to a JPEG or a WebP image. So then they're a really nice small size and they load quickly on the page. This will create a great client experience on your website, and this is what we want to achieve. Number 10, metadata. It's the code, the description, the alt text, the titles, and slogans. The best practice is to keep your website up to date and aligned with your strategy for optimum performance. And so look for your SEO description, look for your image alt texts, and make sure that you've used keywords related to those web pages and you're optimizing them. So then when people read this description or this alt text, title or slogan, it's relevant and it attracts them to those pages. Number 11, how often you keep your website up to date. I tell my clients just to schedule in a date each week or month, whatever's achievable for them, just to check your website and make sure that it is up to date with, the services you currently offer, the pricing. Has anything changed in your business? Are you still offering all of those services? Do you need to make any tweaks or edits? Or like what I was talking about before, about a word count, add a little bit more text to that blog post, or maybe you've achieved an award, or you might even see a spelling error, things like that. Just schedule in a time just to have a good scan of your website, because Google knows that your website has been updated or when the last update was, and it can see if you're providing more value for your audience. If you chip away at it each week, you'll do great things for your SEO. I think I'll leave it here for today. If you've enjoyed this podcast and you know someone who wants to learn more about SEO, please share this episode with a friend. Until next time, see you then. Bye.
This podcast was recorded on the lands of the Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation, who've cared for this land for over 60,000 years. I pay respect to their elders, past and present. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.